and the blockages that have nothing to do with this lifetime, for real, okay? So like for you, you had past life and that you cleaned some stuff up and everything changed, okay? So here's what happens in past lives. We have these experiences, okay? And let's just say like what you had, Darius, where, something happened, I was hearing you earlier and you were like a beggar or something.
Hmm.
But before that, you had a life where, abundance. Okay. So we do that. We agree to have lifetimes on different uh, status in life, from the poorest to poorest, wealthy, whatever. And what happens though, and this is why we continue to keep redoing the same old stuff lifetime after lifetime for hundreds of lifetimes. We have an experience just like you did. Okay. We anchor something in. It's an emotion. It's the emotion. That emotion that becomes a belief. It's a conclusion. It gets anchored into what I call the soul imprint. We carry it over. And then what's happening is our soul levels, our higher levels, are trying to get us to go through these painful places so we can be liberated from it and no longer stifled by these beliefs and open the heart and share the gift of who we are, okay? And the feeling of unconditional love. What happens, we got the emotion, it gets angst, our higher levels are bringing us opportunities. We think, oh no, we're being punished or something, maybe I'm forsaken or whatever what beliefs we've got. And then we just recycle it again. So by unraveling and clearing, like for you, you went and did a past life regression. Okay. In our work, we just clear the energy. Okay. When we take the emotion out of the subconscious. So it doesn't matter what you're living. It's all about your subconscious beliefs and the carryover from all these past lives. Not only that, there's interferences that people have no clue about. Okay. These interferences include discarnates in your body, enemies in your body, castings, curses, spells, hexes, charms, voodoo, witchcraft, black magic, sorcery, interfering with you, demonic energies interfering with you. If you've ever dabbled in the powers of darkness, I guarantee you, you are going to be messed with, okay? Guaranteed until that gets unraveled. You have implants. We have military, government, one percenters, and alien implants, okay? We have all the interference is happening from other time and space, and we have creatures in us. I mean, it just goes on and on. So if you're not aware of these kinds of things, how are you going to know? Okay, seriously, how are you going to know um, what needs to happen or what you need to work on? You don't. Okay, so with all these kinds of interferences, still, no matter what, by going in and seeing what you got holding in your subconscious, that's where I find places, for example, like let's just say that you did some, things that you feel are bad, that were wrong. You're going to have beliefs that you don't deserve, that you should
Yeah.
be punished. Okay. Maybe you shouldn't be tortured. Okay. And what about, love? If you're not feeling love, there's going to be, oh, there's something wrong with me. I must be bad. I must be a sinner. All these unconscious beliefs, all of these energies are interfering in your life in all ways, not just money, but everything, your health, your well-being, your spirituality, your success, everything. So, it's like I started finding these things when I went to the desert, for those 4 years, and that's when my work totally drastically changed. And still, no matter, even way beyond though, that it still holds true. It's the emotion, okay? The emotion that
Yeah.
gets anchored in, okay? Just
Can
like
I
when,
say two interesting things about that? So that same weekend, one of the things I found was in one of these lives, I was actually the head like boss of this big, I guess like work group, like this group of workers. And my father was one of the workers. And I was really kind of the worst to him. Like I remember like he was
mm,
climbing up this wall and I was like the foreman and I remember like just whipping him like and
yeah,
wanting him to fall off the wall. I mean, I was like a
ooh,
bad guy.
yeah,
And I was never like rising up to some of my dad's accomplishments until I healed that. I mean, that's
right.
wild stuff. Because what would I do? I'd be like, I was bad, so I'm going to stay down my whole life. Crazy. Now, the other thing that same weekend, we had another gal that we were working with, and we were all in this class. and talking about people carrying stuff, she cleared 21 entities out of one gentleman.
Hmm.
And some of these things were like so old, going all the way
Hmm.
back to other, like, centuries. So
Hmm.
there's a lot going on. And this is why this unseen sort of set of things is so key to
Hmm.
how far we go. And I'm excited to talk about it and help people activate this, this pot of gold, this truth that waits for them. Tell me
Hmm.
about your story for people maybe that don't know about you. And you said your time in the desert. They may go, well, what about the desert?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So for me, coming into the world just really quickly, coming in, the initial thing, and like even that 2 weeks, my mother was pregnant for 2 weeks. She tried to abort me. So that right there anchored in, I'm going to be killed here. I don't belong. I'm not wanted. I'm not loved. It's not safe. So, that was my foundation. Okay. After that, then we have all kinds of abuse, sexual abuse by multiple, men, uncles, grandfathers. Um, my grandmother hated me, so tortured me, and also parents both abandoned, left, raised by the grandmother. So I was pretty damaged, like severely damaged. But I started my journey in 1984, and from there, it's like I discovered that by going through the emotions, like really I just surrendered. I don't know how it all happened, but I did. I found it. And then I started discovering that, oh, if I just surrender to these emotions, energy changes. And then once I started doing my practice, and actually that was also in 1986 when I actually like started charging for what I did or do. And what I did, I started tracking people. I just wanted to track everything, all the emotions, everything. And what I discovered is everybody's exactly the same, only different. Okay.
Okay.
So all the emotions are exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? Just different degrees, different whatevers. And then two, getting people to unravel the emotion if they surrendered and completely softened and no more mind, but you become the emotion. I would watch the energy unravel. So I knew clearly that we
Mm,
could clear all this emotional energy. And what's cool about it is when it's gone, you can't feel the thought, you can't feel the reaction. There's nothing, it's gone. But then from there, I created a healing center called the Renaissance Center. I had that for 13 years. It was based on the emotions. We did mega workshops, mega, cutting to the core awakening, all kinds of stuff. We'd roll people up in blankets because I was shown to do that. It was powerful, powerful. Anyway, I mean, people would have shamanic deaths, transformations. And then I closed that down and then I went to the desert. Okay. So in the desert, 4 years in the desert, that's when my work really, really changed. That's when I really saw and understood the interferences and how powerful it is, and the dark energies, and all the interferences that are occurring that people have no clue about. And it just took everything to another level, like clearly to another level.
how do you see those, Bonnie, when you talk about interferences? And I'm imagining you in the desert. I know you mentioned that you very rarely in that time talked to people. You didn't
Right,
interact much with people
right.
other than, little things you needed to get supplies, I'm sure. But
Yeah, yeah, that
you're
was
in
it.
this isolation state. What are you starting to see? Are you seeing like through dimensional realities? Are you seeing layers of dimensions like a cake? Are you seeing spirits? Are you kind of seeing the unseen world? What was going on?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I spent a lot of time, traversing the different dimensions, time and space. But I started doing that when I was a kid. Okay, that
Mm,
was nothing new. But what happened was, what actually triggered it was, I'm in a film called Awakened Soul to Soul. So the producers came to my house and they were filming, and then the sound guy, they were getting ready to leave, and he said something, and I said, "Hang on a second." And then I did some clearing on him, and I started pulling out all this demonic energy. Okay,
wow.
when I started doing that, what happened was is all of a sudden I just started, it was like being downloaded, and then I started really seeing and sensing and knowing that this kind of energy is affecting almost every human being on the planet. Okay, for real, to some degree. Okay, think about it. Have you ever
Yeah.
wanted you ever cursed anybody? Have you ever wanted to cause harm? Have you ever gotten angry where you hate, you know? So when you have those kinds of energies, you're pulling in the frequency, you're pulling in that power of darkness stuff. And then think about too, people that are doing casties and curses and spells and all of that kind of thing. Even like if you look at the Satanism, you know, they do sacrifices and things of that nature. So all of these things bind us. And so what I saw was I started seeing the energies of the darkness, but then I also started seeing the interferences that come along with those, like people could be bound in chains and ropes and bindings or
Right.
whatever.
Keeping them from moving forward or keeping an
Yes,
opportunity away
yes,
from them.
yes, yes,
Wow.
right, yes, and all the different energies outside of them, and then the energies inside of them, and hidden in the subconscious. And I'm not, honest to God, for real, demons in their subconscious. Okay, making sure you're in great
Hmm.
suffering, you're in torture land. Okay, so it was like a light bulb going on, and and then once I started sensing things, then I started practicing with what I was sensing. Then I started looking for stuff, and it was like a whole new world opened up of all this dimension, interdimensional time and space, and all kinds of different things that I just wasn't fully aware of. I mean, I've always been aware of the dark stuff, okay, even as a kid, but not to this degree. I didn't get how people were literally attacked or bound or
Hmm.
tortured even, Darius. It was crazy, okay? So what I also know too, and I think this is really important, Darius, like, even for me, I wanted to find, I'm always like, I got that Pluto Mars in the first house. I'm like, what's, boom, boom, boom. How do we get from here to there like the fastest? Okay.
The best.
But
Yeah.
the thing is there's nothing in this world that's instant pudding. Okay. Nothing. Okay. It's a layering process. It's an unraveling process. And it can take time. Like I've been doing my inner work since 1984. What year is this? 2025. And I'm still unraveling. Okay. My point
But
is,
you're getting more and more powerful. So it's like
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's
what
the
you're
thing.
getting to is like so far that it's like, whoa, it's like you're becoming superwoman. You
Yeah.
know, totally. I mean, I get it. And then you unlock more and more powers. I think a lot of people here would just like to have, things just move in their favor. And I got to
Right.
ask the question based on what people are saying, can they affect the body and how your body feels? It create like pain in your body, maybe
Oh
to keep you from
yes.
being abundant.
Oh yeah.
What give me the rundown of things you are seeing in people or clients like when they come
Okay.
to you with these types of issues or these types of things affecting them?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
see?
okay. So several things. So I'm going to start with someone who, let's just say that it's their own stuff. Okay, their own
Mm,
beliefs, kind of like with you, past lives.
mhm,
Okay, so people have like I'll start tracking. I'll look inside. I'll go into the subconscious, and I'll find them inside their subconscious, blocking their own selves. Okay, and
oh,
then it's coming from past lives and it's conclusions. People have stuff around believing, okay, I did horrible things, I deserve to be punished. So then there's a self-sabotage, a self-undermining, okay? There's where we punish ourselves and torture ourselves. Then add on top of that other beings, enemies, let's just say in past life, someone tortured someone or a family, and that family now wants retribution on the torturer. Well, they're all attacking that torturer. So now in these next lifetimes, that torture is being attacked. Those energies can be inside the body, outside the body,
mm,
interfering. Okay. Then we also have things like wormholes and black holes and voids in and around the body that are, that are opening things up and letting things in. And then we also have like piercing of your energy fields. But absolutely, okay, this is something I know people might not like, but it's an honest to God for real fact. Everyone has discarnates, okay? Not just one or two. You have hundreds, plural, hundreds, maybe even thousands of discarnates in your field. These can be coming from peoples that want to punish you, torture you, whatever. Okay. You can even have them that I love you, I want you, whatever. Okay. All just think of humans and every emotion they've got. That's all the reasons why they can be in your energy field.
Right.
The thing about discarnates is you don't know they're there, and they affect your thoughts, your belief systems. They affect your health. I've had people, honest,
Mm.
this is honest for real. I've had people, be around somebody and that person dies, and all of a sudden they take on their illness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this
They
is
got,
kind of common. Okay. Oh, wait.
yeah.
Oh, person came into your body. Oh, take them out, and that illness is gone. Okay. So discarnates affect us
So when the person
profoundly
died, so when the person died, the discarnates jumped from the dead person
into
now
the
to the
body.
live person
And that person took on and became the same illness,
right.
but we take out the discarnate and that illness ends. Okay? Your
Wow.
thoughts. Oh, I'm telling you, your thoughts. I have people crying. They'll be crying, sobbing over something, and I'll go, okay, hang on. And I pull the energy out, and immediately the crying's over because the discarnate
It
that was
wasn't
sobbing
them.
is gone. Okay? So, yeah, all these emotions we're feeling are not ours. Okay?
Wow. I knew a lady when I was hanging out at a metaphysical center for a good bit, about 15 years ago in Houston. There was a lady, and I knew a couple different healers. That it was a lady that ran this one particular room in this metaphysical center, and she ended up going out of business. And then another lady came as a healer, and then she went out of business. It didn't work. And then a third lady came that was like a jewelry, selling jewelry and stuff, and ointments and different kind of potions and stuff, and she was having a lot of problems there. Like nothing was working. She was getting really angry. People would go into this
Mm,
particular room and they would like start yelling at her and they would get irate. And it was just all of this tension in this room. And it was the only
mm,
place where this happened. And come to find out, and I didn't know, I wasn't totally aware of all this, but I knew there was some bad vibe there.
yeah.
You mentioned wormholes there. Somebody had opened up a portal
Mm-hmm.
to like a demonic dark energy in that room a couple years before, the one of the
Mm-hmm.
healers that was renting it, and that doorway was still open, and it was just causing everybody like financial ruin, arguments, no matter what they did.
Mm-hmm.
That space in the center was just like there's like a cloud over it. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen, I mean, just this, I've seven stories of so many of these things. Oh my gosh. Tell me real quick, Bonnie, I want to jump into some of what people are experiencing and some of what they're sharing. One of the things that you talk about are quantum frequencies and working in quantum and maybe this quantum liberation. Explain a little bit about how quantum frequencies can affect our ability to manifest wealth and how they actually work with healing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about it, or just open yourself up to having this kind of awareness, everything is it's like, I know this is crazy to try to comprehend with the mind, but
Mhm.
everything is literally happening simultaneously. Like, for example, if we take our awareness and we go into what we call God, okay?
Mhm.
Creation itself, the frequency, the consciousness of that. If we go into that, it's like everything it's just all happening, spinning. It's just crazy energy
Mm.
frequency, okay? All existence, all at once. So it's all there, okay? So when we're working on anything, if we stay limited to just this body, okay, just this time space right here, we will not be very potently effective. Sure, we might make some changes, but not what we're looking for. Okay. So when we start going into the quantum, now we're dealing with everything. Okay.
Mm.
All time, space, dimensions, universe, galaxies, lifetimes, realities, black holes, parallels, all, realms, all existence simultaneously. Okay. This is where we create profound shift and changes because we're not just limiting ourselves to here, and it isn't just past lives. It isn't just, oh, you had a lifetime or lifetimes in another dimension. No, it's all existence. It's everything.
Mm.
And we have been everywhere, okay? We have been a part of, even in the, if we look at the creator consciousness, it's an awareness that we are all that same awareness, okay? So when you start spending a little time just being in that state of awareness or coming into your own divine light that's inside of every sentient
Mm.
being, you start expanding yourself in ways that go beyond just this human experience in this dimension. We start opening ourselves up to connecting with everything, all existence, which is that that's quantum
Yes.
consciousness, okay? And when we work at that level, so see, for me, I don't like being I don't like this, I don't like being limited, okay? So I like the idea that I can do anything, anywhere, it doesn't matter. Just show me, show me, show me. Where's it at? Da da da, you know?
Yes.
And then in that, it isn't just working even in that time space. It's like it's everything simultaneously. Okay. So even like when I going back into past lives, you'll have many lifetimes of the same thing, right? So we don't
Yes.
need to go to every single lifetime to clean it up. So think about this. Everything is energy. Once I find something, for example, let's just say there's an angst that's blocking someone from receiving. Let's just say that someone had, wait, hang on. Someone had, okay, so someone had done something
You're
bad.
getting something about the group, I bet, or somebody in the group. They're already talking to you.
Darius, I can't make stuff up. Okay, I just can't.
Yeah.
I have to. Anyway, so let's just say you do that, and then you anchor that in, and but then you have lifetime of lack. Okay, so because everything is somehow all simultaneously together. So sometimes just clearing a lifetime, once I get that, that particular belief system that a person's bought into or created in their mind because of their experience, I'm telling you straight, it's like I just go like this, like that, and I shatter all of those lifetimes. Every single
Wow.
one of them.
So you
Okay?
don't need to go back and peel the onion lifetime because I
Yeah.
realize I probably had more than two lifetimes. I don't even
Yeah.
know how many, could be
Right.
thousands. It would take forever to go through all of that
Right,
stuff.
you can't. You
Yeah.
can't. The main thing is what I again, it's the emotion, okay?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
emotion is blocking a person from receiving from their pot of gold? Okay, we have all these beliefs. It's
Yeah.
all about beliefs. We are
Yeah.
limited by our beliefs. We're limited by our emotions.
Emotion.
Anchored in, okay?
It's just like the emotions are anchoring in the beliefs, and then these emotions or the tethers of these certain emotions, because they're almost like cords or cables or uh some sort of like, I want to think of like something like latching people, binding people, bindings, right,
Binding. Yeah.
throughout lifetimes. So
Yeah.
these emotions continue throughout lifetimes and bind
Yes.
us, and
Yes.
that's what you're actually releasing people from. Is this what the Saratore method does? Explain a little bit about that, because you're working
Yeah.
at cellular, which would be like the micro level, but then you're also
Yes.
working at the soul quantum level, which would be like
Yes.
super macro. Tell me
Yes.
about this.
Yes. Yes. So, for me, Darius, I didn't study with other people. Okay. I didn't have other teachers
Mm.
because my body always felt distortion. And then, I was so wounded that, I couldn't, oh, they're distorted. Well, so am I. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
it was just that place where I just couldn't, but I wasn't meant to. I was meant to go direct. Okay. So in that direct teaching, what would happen is I'd be doing a session, or maybe I'm in a group thing. I'm doing a group process. This is where I learned to roll people up. I was shown it goes roll them up. I'm like, what? Roll them up.
Mm.
Okay. So I did, and then then I started tracking and I had people lay on them, and we did this whole major thing, and it was coming from just going direct and getting the knowing, and every time I would follow through with the knowing, it'd be like almost like miracles would happen. Okay, so just trusting that, knowing that, and not listening to anything out here, because out here is distorted. I'm going to tell you straight up, old paradigm belief systems that are not true and real. Okay, we all know it. Okay, we call some people like airy fairy, or they don't, it's not really, doesn't
Hmm.
really change anything. Okay, and smoke and screens or whatever. But it's like it's like when you start learning how to move energy and how to track stuff, then you're unlimited. Okay, there's no limitations. Like right now, I can look right at you, and I'm also, as I'm doing that, I'm already looking out at quantum. I'm already expanding out in my awareness. I'm feeling into all the different dimensions and time and space. I'm already plugging into God creator consciousness, just kind of like it's all right here. Okay, everything's right here. But we're limited, like when we're here looking through our eyes into this world, this
Yeah.
is, we're limited to this, okay? And there, it's so much greater, you know what I mean? It's like there's so, it's just massive what's happening, you know, like all the different energies that are existing, coexisting simultaneously right here, right now. So in that quantum, you know what I mean? It's like in the quantum, it's like I'm working. So let's just say, not only am I doing a past life, okay? Let's just say, okay, yeah, but it's more than just a past life. It's all the peoples that
Oh,
were affected and all of their beliefs and all of their conclusions and all of their hurts and all of their wanting revenge or punishments.
right. Because in that past life, somebody could have put a curse on you, or they could have, you could resolve your issues, but then there's still that other energy that could be coming at
Right.
you from whatever you did or someone that you affected. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
get the sense that in many respects you're going so much bigger than the container of all of these individual energies and chords and anchors and
Yeah.
loops and impediments, that it's like you go so much bigger than that, that then you can wrap all that stuff up and dissolve it and truly set the person free. But
Right.
you've got to go quantum, because if you just
Right.
start working at that lower level, like it'd
Yeah.
take decades.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's not
So for
possible.
me, yeah, so for me, it was like learning how to, I mean, I just learned how to track. Hey, for example, Barry's way back when I was teaching psychic classes, this was in 87. And I remember because back then I was still pretty messed up, you know what I'm saying? So one of my issues was I didn't want to be looked at and be, you know, make does someone think I'm like a charlatan or whatever. So my two students asked me a question. I'm like, right now I'm out there searching, like da 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 there. And the moment before they even finished talking, I
Mm,
had the answer. Okay. So I trained myself to get the answer. Okay. And I could feel it. I'm looking right in your eyes. You're asking me questions, and I am traversing. I am everywhere, all over. It doesn't matter, no limitation. I don't care what dimension, time, space. Where is it? What is it? And then in that, pulling that in, and then getting that kind of information, and then all this hands-on. I've had like 40 years of hands-on healing over with thousands and thousands and thousands of peoples, and the process, you know, now we call it the Saratore method because there's nothing else like it. I mean, yeah, there's shamanism, yeah, there's energy healing, and there's pieces of it that people do and people are very aware of, blah, blah, blah. But to the depth that we do it, to the depth that I do and I train, no one has those pieces. No one. You know what I'm saying? It's that ability to know where to go, to feel, sense, even the slightest distortion, something's not right. Where is it? What is it? Where's it? You know, and then finding it. You know, so it's like the tracking is key. The tracking is vital. So being able to track energy, sense energy, find it, and then also not just find it, but what are you going to do with it when you find it? Okay. So I'm teaching people, and you know, for me also in my own hands-on healing with others, began to discover what works and what doesn't work, you know?
yes. Yes.
And and then from there, well, for me again, accelerate how much faster, faster, faster. You know what I mean? It's like how
I
fast
love it.
let
I
me
love
wake
it.
up.
Well, we're
Listen
getting
to
a
the way
lot
I'm
of,
waking up.
yeah, yeah, I love it. And I love the acceleration. And that's kind of what you do is spiritual acceleration and the
Yeah,
liberation. It's getting people there so they don't have to, if you've been trying to unravel or work through an issue and you clear belief after belief after belief, well, okay, you clear your beliefs. Well, what if you clear someone else's belief that's been implanted on you or that's in your field? Okay, now you got to clear that. Well, what if there's a curse? What if you merged a timeline with somebody else that maybe you harmed in another life, and then now you're living kind of their suffering timeline or what? I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And
yes,
eventually, like, you've got to go bigger quantum, like
right.
you're saying, wrap all this, let's just say, shit up in a ball, right? And just
Yeah,
zap it out and
right.
start fresh again and see really what is your pot of gold. And that's what I love about your work. You know what I want to do? I know we're not going to be able to go super big with individual callers yet, but we can help them maybe move a couple things. And if you all have a question, if you feel like you've been clearing here and there and working on this and working on that, everyone's always, and probably everyone is finding different stuff because they're all working at individual levels. It's like
Sure. Oh
if I
yeah.
look for
Yeah.
a each grain of sand on a beach to be different under a microscope, I probably can
Sure.
find a unique grain of sand anywhere I look, and it doesn't matter how many times I look at the beach, right? It's the same thing. But what if you could just wrap all that up and zap
Yeah.
it out? That's where we want to go. But we're going to take some individual callers. I know a lot of people are looking for some questions today answered, or maybe just some support. So if you feel like something just isn't working out, Linda wrote to us. She said, I always feel, this is Linda L. I always feel like I had been killed one, by another one a lot. Hopefully, it stopped in this lifetime, but it feels like this has caused me manifestation blockages. And I'm going to unmute Linda if that's okay, Linda. You've got your hand raised, so I think I have your consent. Just let us know if I'm
Yes,
wrong.
you do have my consent. Thank you, Darius. Hi,
Okay.
Bonnie.
Well, you
Hi,
And
seem like a
Linda.
nice person. I don't think you would do anything to anybody in another life. No, I don't think so.
well, I've had a couple of past life review type of things,
Yeah.
and the same person keeps wanting to do away with me or undermine
Wow.
and betray me all the time. And it's happened again and again and again. And I think I've had at least six past lifetimes with him. I believe he's gone now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the cycle has stopped.
Hmm.
Whoa.
When you say he's gone, you mean like out of the picture or gone off
Yeah,
the planet?
he passed on.
Oh, he passed on.
He's transitioned.
Okay. Okay, hang on, hang on. All right, so okay, so there's several things happening here. I'm looking, let me just track where he's at now. Okay, is he in the light? Okay, is he still gonna come after her? Okay, right there. All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, he's still focused, not focused, but he still has an awareness of her. Yeah, okay, let me back up, way back. Let me find out what's really going on here. Way back, back, back through past lives on planet Earth. Is it on planet Earth? No. Hang on. Where is it? Well, okay, so another time, space, another dimension. Okay, so another dimension. Got it. Okay. Looks like yeah, you got a lot of there's a lot of different things different, but I'm going back and just what really anchored things in. It's almost like there's a like an unrequited love. He wanted you, you didn't want him, and he became obsessed, and then it started being a torture thing. Then he started hurting you, okay? Because he
Yeah,
didn't get to have what he wanted, or
Mm,
a
so
lot.
that angst is still in him. That's not gone yet. Hang on a second. So Linda, right now, when you think about him, feel your body, okay? Just let your body feel the reaction, the thought of when you think about that man, okay? That being. Then just let it all go, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share with you what I'm doing. So I'm going back to that particular lifetime because it started off, not too bad, but then I think, hang on, did he kill her? He ended up killing you, okay, in that lifetime. But then he was obsessed, okay? So there's something happened in that lifetime. Let
mm,
me just go in, get the soul frequencies, the soul dance, okay, the soul dance between them, agreements and contracts that they made. Now I'm going to pull their soul levels together right here, not together. I'm pulling them so they understand and see there's agreements here. They
mm,
they made agreements way back, okay, in the soul's evolution, and then they got lost in those and forgetting, of course. Okay, now show him, show him, show him, show him, show him. Look, 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 look. Soul dancing. Look, look, look. Bigger picture. Look at that. Look at the bigger picture. Got it? Look, 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 look. Got it? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good. Now he's okay. There we go. Now let him go. There we go. Release. I'm going to separate the two of you from that lifetime. Take his
Oh,
energy out
thank
of
you.
you out of him, all the way. Dance done. Now, out of your body, I'm going to pull his energy out because he's still in you, even
Oh,
though he's
please.
passed on. Okay, hang
mm,
on. There we go. See, he's out. See, because of that agreement, because I showed them, he saw it. They both saw it at the bigger picture, understood. This is soul dance. This is soul stuff. We've agreed. Okay.
mm,
There we go. So coming out of her body. There we go. Pulling his energy out of her energy field. There we go. There's something else in here. Hang on. What is this? She's got something dark in here. Really dark. Is this evil energy? Is this demonic? We got some dark energy here?
I
Yeah,
know.
we do right here. right there. I'm gonna use the light, bringing in the white flame, white flame, white flame, white flame, coming into that blackness. There we go. Out, get out, out, there we go. Go, go, go. Good.
Oh,
Release, 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 release. Clear, clear, clear.
I'm feeling lighter already.
Yep. Okay, good. Now,
Wow.
so now when you think about that guy, see how that feels now.
No, it's like I don't even think about it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Ooh.
it's like it's gone.
Yeah. So dance done.
Thank you so much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
Oh, it's been lifetimes,
Wow.
Linda,
I
sweetie.
know.
Okay, so
Oh,
so
Linda.
Linda,
Wow.
sweet precious, I want you to just be aware of this, babe. Okay, this is something people need to be aware of. We are all doing what I call it soul dancing, okay? We've
I
made
know.
agreements because we want to know ourselves in all ways, okay? So you made these agreements, but then you got lost in it, okay? This is what we do. We get lost in it, traumatized, okay? Sweetness, the word has already been spoken. Today was the day, okay?
Mhm.
So now
Thank
you're
you.
liberated from it. Now just keep remembering, it's all about the dance you're doing with everyone, okay? And it's all about the emotion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Linda. You've been
Thank
on
you,
so many,
Darius.
yeah, you've been on so many of these calls. I'd never heard this story come up or anyone else talk about it or you mention it. It's amazing. Can I ask, this is gone now. Liberation has happened.
Yeah.
But thinking back, how was this affecting your abundance? You thought it affected, you said, quote, maybe had caused
Because he
blockages.
constantly betrayed it. He would constantly undermine me being able to earn money or giving me anything. And I worked for him. Not I wasn't just married to him, but I worked for him for 30 years. And there was never an acknowledgement that I did anything. But I
Um,
raised the three children and I did a lot of things that most people don't know about. Sorry.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to bring something to awareness. Okay, stay right here. So, sweetie, you have a lot of heartache and heartbreak. Okay, here's the thing, Darius. This is really important for people to get this. She still has emotional angst. She still has emotional pain. Okay, because she has that, that means there's a belief in her subconscious that if that doesn't get cleaned up, she's going to recreate something where not the part where he did that, wanted to kill you thing, I'm saying that part, but the angst that you have in your subconscious of always having to do everything you alone, no acknowledgement, great suffering, heartache, heartbreak, that energy is anchored in your subconscious. If you don't clean that up and die with that, you're going to recreate scenarios of that kind of suffering. You won't recreate what this man what that is, but you will recreate this heartache. You know the heartache I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
Okay, hang on. Feel it right now. Just feel your broken heart, feel your pain, feel all
I,
that angst in your feel just because you live with this, okay?
I do.
mm,
Okay, sweetie, now get out of the way. Just get out of the way.
Okay.
Now I'm going to start spinning out some of this heartache. To show you that it's just emotional energy. It's not who you are. Okay, light, 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 lifting that pain, pain, pain. Energy's coming up and out, 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 out. Frequencies lifting, 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 going into that really shattered, broken right there. Light, 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 white flame. Let's dissolve all that, some of that heartache, heartbreak, pain, anguish. There we
Oh,
go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There
oh
we go.
my God.
Okay, Linda, can you feel that lightening up,
Yes, yes. I felt
sweetie?
the whole
Okay.
thing.
This is all just as emotional pain. It's not you. Okay. There we go. Good. Good, 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 good. Good. So that's going to feel better. Okay. You still have more to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to carry
Yes,
stuff over, but this will give you a little bit of relief. Okay. So that really deep heartache is not happening anymore. Can you feel that?
yes, yes, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
wow. Linda,
Thank
can
you,
I just
Darius.
ask, yeah, what does it feel like? Where do you feel it and what does it feel like for just people listening in and
Well,
kind
my
of,
stomach was really bad when she first started, and I thought I almost wanted to throw up. But then when she started releasing Jim from me and
Mm.
really take him away, and then the heartache, I mean, I can actually feel my heart feels much lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you've taken tons off of my heart.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
This is
Wow.
So thank you,
lifetimes of
Darius. You
heartache.
have no idea.
Thank
Bonnie,
you,
thank you.
Linda. I had to
Yeah.
pick you today. I saw you were just shining like a blinking light, and I thought Spirit wants me to find her today.
Mm-hmm.
And when you wrote that in, and I was like, that's it. So thank you so much. We love you, and we're just, hey, this is what we're here to do. Thank you,
Thank you,
Linda.
Bonnie. Thank you,
Bless you. Thank you,
Darius.
Bonnie. Yeah. Bonnie, you are amazing. So for Linda or anyone else that gets to experience this type of release, I mean, this isn't like, oh, you cleared a little thing. This is like layers and layers and lifetimes. You can see how she's describing it. It's not like, oh, I feel a little better. I feel giddy. It's just like you cleared this huge thing off my heart. What should someone do after they get like this type of clearing? Like, what do they maybe you suggest they do next, or how do you kind of recommend them to kind of proceed forward now?
Yeah. See, once people start to understand how things get anchored in,
Yeah.
and by clearing that out, that it changes your life,
Yes.
lifetimes, okay, then there's something you're more willing and wanting to continue to do inner work. So anyone, I don't have an attachment to who anybody works with, you know what I'm saying? Work with anybody that you're drawn to. And you guys, nothing's going to change if you don't take action. Your
Yeah.
life won't change. You can cry about it and whine about it and wish and hope and pray about it. But if you don't take action or take steps towards your own healing, it's not going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, people, this is the time to clean up all this old stuff. We are in the early stages of the new paradigm, okay? You
Mm.
will not pass through those veils into the new paradigm in we got about 150 years before we're really landed in it. We will be living new paradigm, okay? And if you don't clean up your debris, all that dark energies, all that heartbreak, victim, torture, all that blackness inside the subconscious,
Mm.
you won't be coming here. You will be incarnating, but you won't be coming here. Okay. So you don't want to live with this stuff. And here's the good news, you don't have to.
You
And
don't
it's
have
not
to.
what you think, people. I don't care what your trauma is, whatever horror you have lived, everyone's got their story. Energy can be lifted. Emotional energy is not who you are. I'm telling you.
Ah,
Okay, think about
interesting.
this. It is
Yeah.
not who you are. That's why I could move that blackness out of her, Darius, because it's not her. It's
Right.
not an absolute. Okay?
Well, right, because she could
Emotion.
feel what it was like without it, and she felt instant lightness. So if she could feel herself without it, that wasn't her. It wasn't herself.
Right. It wasn't
Um,
her. Yes.
I want to talk about something you're doing, and what's pretty interesting. You said, okay, we've got to take action, we got to move. You have something kind of fun called Lucky Life Syndrome. And, usually a syndrome is something we don't necessarily want, but a lucky life would be a cool syndrome to have. Tell me about this, because the other thing that you're doing, not just from the quantum level of clearing, but it's actually like you can actually help people get into higher patterns of
Mm,
good stuff they want. Tell me about
right.
that. What is lucky life syndrome?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So again, okay, if you pay attention to when you
Okay.
have a thought or a desire, okay, let's
Okay.
just say I want to have good luck. I want to have that lucky life syndrome, okay? Pay attention to your body because your body's always talking to you. And if you've got any kind of grab, any kind of zing, any kind of angst, you've got a belief that doesn't believe that, okay?
Ah.
Okay, it's Darius.
You mean if we have an angst about something we want, or an idea, that means there's a belief about it not working out, or not
Yes,
being,
yes,
something for us
yes,
we can attain. Yeah,
yes,
that makes
yes.
sense. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So what happens is yes, we all know on some level we've all heard or have a belief or an understanding that abundance is for all of us, right? Okay.
Yes.
The only thing stopping us is us. Now, we may have dark interferences, we may have other interferences, but why do we have these interferences? Because
Mm.
we have some kind of angst of a belief, conclusion, some kind of emotional wounding. We took things personal, okay? And then we created all this angst, and then we created our lives as they are. So when we start understanding that we are creating our reality 100%, that we are creating from the wounding, okay? It's the wounding, but the wounding is not who you are, okay? I've proved that tens of thousands of times, okay? The wounding is not you. It's an emotion. So there's a couple of ways to clear it. I had to clear by going through the emotion because I didn't have someone like me. In fact, I started teaching these classes in 94, so I would have someone like me, okay?
Mhm.
So I had to do my own work. So by going through emotions, I know how to do it. But I can spin that emotional energy out of people because it's not them. The beliefs are not them. The conclusions are not them. None of it is them. Okay, so you start connecting with that light, the pure love and light that everyone is. You start connecting with that, and you
Hmm.
start living from that place.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
imagine? Can you imagine what would happen
So
if?
that then becomes the lucky life syndrome, right? You're connecting from that place
Right,
without all the
rather
gunk. Yeah.
rather from, the subconscious of your,
Yes.
all the traumas, you weren't loved, you weren't wanted, you don't belong, you don't matter, all the stuff that we all live with, okay?
Mhm.
All the beliefs that are not true and real. It's like we don't have the true teachers here that tell us who we really are, okay? We don't have that. We've got all this, suppression. Keep them down, keep them stuck, keep them small, keep
Right.
them enslaved, okay? So, you guys, it's like when you start understanding it, when you start really getting how it's working, how you're creating your life, and you start taking responsibility, then you're going to want to take action. Like, I'll work with somebody, I'll do this or do that. But it doesn't matter. Do something and it'll start you in the right direction. And,
Absolutely.
things will start unfolding. I mean, think about it. No matter where you live, there's someone that can help you, right? On some level. Maybe they don't can't help you with everything, but we've got, amazing people all over the world. And everyone's got, their own specialty and what they uniquely offer. And, so just be guided. And again, people, it's really about no matter what, clear these emotions. And I'm going to
Yeah.
give you a little thing here, a little tip here.
Mm.
Anytime you have a reaction, that is a red flag that you have some kind of belief in your subconscious. Okay?
Okay. Okay. And we've got a bunch of questions coming in here. I want to get to a couple more. Linda is also reporting back to us. She says, I'm feeling lighter and lighter. Thank you both so very much, Bonnie and Darius, for all that offered their wonderful blessings. And I got to say, we're going to be doing also a mini group clearing for people here today. And everyone who is on this call right now is going to get this mini group clearing we're going to do. And it's going to be all about tapping into and unhooking actually from the collective wealth limitations.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are listening in on Facebook or X or Rumble or one of the other streaming services, YouTube, you're actually not going to get it unless you click the link in the description because we're going to host it on our page just in case we get a little controversial. We won't get censored. So you're going to want to click
Mm.
that link and go catch the full interview. So I'm going to cut the live stream for anyone that's been focusing